I often share videos just like this one where the vehicles actually collide, and I explain that they're often settled on a 50-50 liability basis because both drivers would be fundamentally negligent. When I explain that, people will say, how on earth are you supposed to tell that somebody's going to stay on the outer lane of the roundabout incorrectly and continue around the outer edge of the roundabout when they shouldn't be? The answer can now be shown in visual form, and I can say, just do what this Ferrari driver did. I guess it's actually really easy when you want to keep an expensive supercar in pristine condition. You just need to have good observations. This Ferrari driver has the observations of a good driver who wants to protect their expensive car. But if there's a collision between two vehicles on a roundabout like this and there's a liability dispute between the drivers, then it will most likely be settled on a 50-50 basis. And that's because both drivers would be negligent. Both would have each broken a separate rule of the highway code. Both would have completely ignored what they were taught when they were learning how to drive. What happens when people watch videos like this though is they decide who they prefer to favour, and then they'll get blinded to the fact that both would be at fault and just concentrate on one of the car drivers. Many who understand that the Renault is going incorrectly around the outer edge of the roundabout will probably think it's just the Renault that's at fault. They will ignore the fact that you're taught not to assume that people are in the correct lane and watch out for this kind of thing happening. It's also in the highway code, and the Ferrari driver did what they're supposed to do in this situation. They were driving correctly. You will of course notice that there wasn't any right indicators flashing on the Renault, but the Ferrari driver knew the score. And those that feel that the Ferrari driver was at fault will say wild things like they shouldn't be exiting from that lane, or they can't cut across lanes to exit the roundabout. Well, yes they can, and yes you can. It's a large roundabout with multiple exits. With 2-lane entry and 2-lane exits, you are allowed to exit from the right-hand lane. You just have to be careful doing it. If it's not marked up as a spiral roundabout where the painted lane markings will guide you off the roundabout, you do have to cut across lanes to exit. Or you just be continuously going around a roundabout until you die of natural causes, because most medium to large standard design roundabouts just have a never-ending continuous divider line around the centre separating the left and the right hand lane. So if you think you shouldn't ever cross this white line, you would just have to stay on the roundabout until your life expires. So if there had been a collision, there would be a high likelihood that it would be settled on a 50-50 basis. But as the Ferrari driver was driving correctly, they seen what was unfolding from observing the position of the other vehicle, they applied their brakes and then were able to go on their way without any damage. And if they can do that, you can do that. Lovely jubbly, sound as a pound.